combination of words I could put on the back of a postcard. No song that I could sing, but I can try for your heart. Our dreams, they're made out of real things, like a shoebox of photographs and sepia-toned unloving. Love is the answer, at least for most of the questions in my heart, like why are we here and where do we go and how come it's so hard? It's not always easy and sometimes life can be deceiving. I'll tell you one thing, it's always better when we're together. It's always better when we're together. Well, look at the stars and we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together. Well, all these moments just might find their way into my dreams tonight, but I know that they'll be gone when the morning light sings and brings new things. For tomorrow night you'll see that they'll be gone too. Too many things I have to do, but if all of these dreams might find their way into my day-to-day scene, I'd be under the impression I was somewhere in between, with only two, just me and you. Now so many things we got to do, or places we got to be. We'll sit beneath the mango tree now. Yeah, it's always better when we're together. We're somewhere in between together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together. But there is not enough time, and there is no song I can sing, and there is no combination of words I could say, but I will still tell you one thing: we're better together. We're better together, 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 together. And we're better together.
Good morning. I'm Cynthia Davis, today's worship associate. And I want to welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Lancaster. May is Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, Mental Health Awareness Month, National Foster Care Month, and Jewish American Heritage Month. This is also Teacher Appreciation Week, and today is Cinco de Mayo, the 5th of May in Spanish, a Latin American holiday commemorating the surprising victory of the Mexican army over the French in 1862. Today, in the US and Canada, it is also the day for awareness of missing and murdered Indigenous girls and women. From sundown tonight to sundown tomorrow, it will be Yom HaShoah, a time to remember the 6 million Jews and others who died in the Holocaust of World War II. Today is Ascension Day, considered the day for Christians following Easter, where Jesus ascended into heaven. Here at UUCL, we come together to nourish the Spirit, connect in love, and act for justice. We welcome you this morning just as you are. Whatever your heritage, whatever your faith, whomever you love, however you identify, today you are a part of this spiritual community. And if this is your first time here, may you soon discover it is also your spiritual community. As has become our custom, let us give a special welcome to all those joining the service this morning on Zoom. I invite those on Zoom to turn on your camera and share a wave together. And everyone in the sanctuary, let's wave at the camera in the back of the sanctuary to send our greetings. We welcome all ages in the sanctuary. We do have a supervised playroom located down the hall from the lobby. In the women's memorial room at the rear of the sanctuary, there is a table with materials for all ages to engage with throughout the service. Please take a moment to consider this sacred space that we are in and acknowledge the truth of the land beneath and around us. We are gathered on land once inhabited by people known as the Susquehannock and Conestoga, and ancient peoples long gone before them. We acknowledge the violent legacies of genocide, displacement, and settlement that led to us being here today, and remind ourselves to live humbly in relation with this land and with all that the indigenous peoples still living and loving on this continent. May we also acknowledge that the wealth and foundation of the United States were built upon the labor and toil of enslaved people. Many indigenous people say all are relatives. May we live into this truth aspiration together. I would like to welcome our minister, the Reverend Patricia Guthman-Harris.
Thank you, Cynthia. Good morning, everybody. Always the morning after our kickoff day for the auction, we do find some volunteers missing as they're taking a deserved morning of rest. So just if you're wondering, where is everybody? But you're here. And hi, everybody on the Zoom. Thank you for being here. And today is the first day, really the kickoff for our annual pledge drive. I know there will be materials around so that you can make sure you fill out your form and get that in, and there's ways to do that online. And so, as always, we'll talk about the meaningfulness of being together and in what more we can do together and be together than we can be by ourselves. And in that spirit, let us light our chalice of hope and inspiration, a sign of community, with words from the Reverend Dr. Rebecca Edmonston Lane. Come in. Come into this place which we make holy by our presence. Come in with all your vulnerabilities and strengths, fears and anxieties, loves and hopes. For here you need not hide nor pretend, nor be anything than other who you are and are called to be. That's what we hope for. Come into this place where we can touch and be touched, heal and be healed, forgive and be forgiven. Come into this place where the ordinary is sanctified, the human is celebrated, and compassion is expected. Please, compassion. Come into this place. Together we make it a holy place. So let us sing, and Eli will lead us in singing Here We Are Gathered, number 360 in the gray hymnal. Thank you.
You may rise and bow to your spirit as you're able.
Come and set in smile.
join Elizabeth now, who's making her way up. And Elizabeth has something to share with us. And maybe some of you got some Legos. Yes. This is the moment.
Hello. My name is Elizabeth Garin, and I'm the Director of Lifespan Religious Education here, and also at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of York, where I was last week, where we all celebrated Beltane, which was really exciting. So I'm excited to be here today on this kind of cozy, rainy day. And the conversation we're going to have today is what builds a church. And when I thought about building, one of the cool things actually that UC York did for their stewardship pledge is they kind of did a similar theme, and they did Legos, and they were all building Legos through their stewardship. So I thought I'd bring a little bit of that here. So some of you have Legos, may have gotten Legos earlier. So what I'd like you to do is, while I'm talking with everyone up here, kind of hold that Lego and think about what builds a church to you, and maybe what gift you have. So if you have multiple Legos, maybe it's what builds a church, but also what's a gift that you have. Now, what would you say builds a church? If I were to ask you what builds a church, what do you think builds a church?
Community.
Community? Well, that was a good answer right off the bat there. Does anyone else have any other ideas of what could build a church? So community, what I was thinking is, what if you each had a Lego, and this is you? So why don't you come up and grab a Lego? August, Henry, grab a Lego. Grab a Lego. Do you want to have a Lego? Here, Henry, you can grab a Lego. And this Lego is you. And if you were to try to build something, if I said, let's build something, you can put the Lego anywhere here, but it can't touch anything else. So can you come up, put your Lego up here, but your Lego can't touch any other Lego. So I'll put mine here. Casimir, where would you put your Lego? It can't touch any other Legos. Where would you put yours? It can't touch any other Legos. It can't touch any other Legos. What if I told you you can bring your piece up and now it can touch any Lego over here? It can connect. So bring your Lego up and connect it to any other Lego. You can touch any other Lego. Now we're starting to build something, aren't we? And if I could say in the simplest terms, what I think builds a church is connection. So we all have ourselves, and we're all wonderful gifts on this earth. But what builds a church is that we're connected. And we have foundation. We have something to build upon too. And that's our values and our love for one another and this world. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this creation to the playroom, and the children are going to keep building their church, and when you leave, you'll be able to see it. I'll bring it out, and you guys can see it on the table out there. And you can add your Lego to the church that we built. And so during this service, as we listen to what we have to give and what others have to give, put that into your Lego, and we'll put it into our church. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's carry our creation.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at the stars when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together. It's always, always better, better, better together, my friend.
So this is the time we take a moment of quiet, make ourselves ready for a time of meditation or prayer. Often, if you connect with yourself, perhaps put your hand over your heart and feel its beating. Feel your breath. If you really have your feet planted on the ground, your place here right now in this space on the earth, and breathe in, breathe out. I'm going to share a prayer from the Reverend Julian Jamaica Soto. In this community, we hold hope close. We don't always know what comes next, but that cannot dissuade us. We don't always know just what to do, but that will not mean that we are lost in the wilderness. We rely on the certainty beneath, the foundation of our values, our ethics. We are the people who want to return and to love the North Star, love like a North Star, and to the truth that we are greater together than we are alone. We are better together. Our hope does not live in some glimmer of an indistinct future. Rather, we know the way to the world of which we dream. And by covenant and the movement forward of one right action and the next, we know that one day we will arrive at home. May it be so. And as we do each morning, we now will think about joys and sorrows and complex truths that are resting on our hearts. So many in these days, it seems. I'm going to name a few joys and sorrows out loud. And as I do, Cynthia will place a stone in the sand to mark those things I've said. And in a little bit, I'll invite you who wish to come on up and lay in silence a joy or sorrow with a stone in the sand. One thing is, this is May, the first Sunday in May, which means we need to celebrate our May birthdays, our May babies. Do we have any May babies out there, May birthdays? We got Linda and Jonas. Do we have any? Oh my goodness, and Jean. My mommy this last week just turned 96. And she's allowed to drive still, which makes me a little nervous. But as we like to do is to celebrate those May birthdays, let us sing happy birthday. Eli, when Alan, take it.
Happy
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Linda and Jonas and our babies. Happy birthday to you. So, yay! We got a few stones in there for you guys and the others who may be in Zoom land and who may be out there in our community whose birthdays are in May. Oops. I want to also put a few stones of gratitude in the sand for all those volunteers who helped make yesterday a beautiful, fun day and our fiesta yesterday, and for those even who participated, just your presence. I see some applause up front here for our volunteers. So a few stones of gratitude. Also, a great deal of heaviness, a stone of sadness and compassion for the continued conflict, suffering, and starvation which is occurring in Gaza. We hear there's talks to help come to some good resolution. May it be so. So a stone of hope as well. One of our UUCL friends in our community asked us to consider all those LGBTQ plus young people who these days tend to be the most vulnerable in our society, bullied and threatened and rights restricted. A co-worker of this UUCL friend, a co-worker's transgender grandchild attempted ending their own life recently, but thankfully survived. So a stone sending support and love and gratitude that they survived, but a stone of concern and continued support for all those who simply want to live their lives fully as who they are and know themselves to be. A stone of care and concern for Dan Word. He is not well, but he wants everyone to know he's okay. So just so you know. And Gil even mentioned that he had done a little gardening for us last week. And even though he's not feeling at his strongest, a beautiful man, a stone of care and concern for Dan. And so at this time, if you wish, you may come and plant a stone of joy or sorrow, complex truth. Some things are both a joy and a sorrow. And may we plant those stones, and may tendrils of love and care and joy grow from them.
This reading is from Reverend Dory Summers. We, all of us, build houses for our dreams. The masonry and lumber, glass and tiles, a solid form wherein we see our hopes, a shelter and protection for our growth. This house shall be a dwelling place for courage, for integrity, for love, engendered, nourished by a family that speaks of we and means all mankind. These walls shall represent the privacy and dignity of individuals, the open doors, a welcome to all people, all ages, and all generations. The windows shall keep light of inquiry, illuminating from outside and within. May all words spoken here be born of love, and energy rekindle in the hearts of those who dreamed this house, who plied the tools and paid the price to actualize the dream. May dreaming never cease for those within who know the world to be a troubled place, but dare to struggle with imperfectness toward that brighter hope, that brighter day. Let memories add warmth, a heritage, a quilted patchwork stitched with history, of kindliness, of daring for the good, of funny moments, jokes, and smiles, and tears. This is a precious place, as every home, that shelters those who live and strive and share. Its blessing is in the lives that meet within, in living, learning, caring, sheltered here.
I actually should have put, but it was a little awkward to ask Cynthia to put in a stone for herself, as today is Cynthia's first day as a worship associate, right? So thank you, a stone in our hearts, in the sand. Today is the official kickoff day, as I mentioned, of our annual pledge campaign for UUCL, and this most auspicious day is known in the UU and greater religious communities as Pledge or Canvas Sunday. And so it is time for my annual message, known mostly among ministers as the Sermon on the Amount. Yes? Because we all know that's what campaigns are about, pledge campaigns. It's about money, we say. Money needed to maintain the building, pay staff, supply paper, technology, keep the lights on, and on days like today, maybe the heat on. And a time to think of money and numbers and, again, the annual budget. But of course, as I hope you know, what we are here at UUCL is about is not just money. Money is not the end, it is a vehicle, yes? It is a vehicle to do the things we want to do and really achieve our aspirations together. It's a means to support the foundation of our spiritual home and beloved community. And support our UU principles of respecting the dignity of each individual, compassion, justice, spiritual growth, the democratic process, honoring the earth. All of those are taken out of the front of your hymnal, our 7 principles, yes? And we have voted in even an 8th principle. This building we maintain houses a legacy of dedication to the city of Lancaster, of being forward-thinking. This building houses our highest hopes and aspirations. This morning, this space in the sanctuary isn't the only place that our beloveds are contained. We've got folks in the classrooms, in the playroom. We have people who might even be lingering down, helping with coffee hour. We have people out in Zoom land and a much wider circle with us, and with us in spirit. In these walls together, we make a joyful noise as we have this morning already, and lift our voices together in song. We are able to provide spaces and means of breaking bread together. This building houses the many circles of community, care, and services that happen in our scattering of meeting in classrooms here and as we meet out in the community. Inspiration, meetings, and conversations happen here that brings our services forth and into the greater community. Programming across the ages and our small group ministries help grow our hearts and minds, expand our assumptions, allow us a free and responsible search for truth and spirituality. The late Reverend John Wolfe wrote, "You want to support a Unitarian Universalist church because it has a free pulpit, because you can hear ideas expressed which would cost any other minister his or her job. You want to support a Unitarian Universalist church because it is a place where children come without being saddled with guilt or terrified of some celestial peeping Tom, where they can learn that religion is for joy, for comfort, for service, for gratitude and love. You want to support a UU church because it's more concerned with human beings than with dogmas, because it searches for the holy rather than dwelling upon the depraved, because it calls no one a sinner, yet knows how deep the struggle in each person's breast and how great is the hunger for what is good." Now, here's another thought. What if UUCL had more money than we could possibly dream of? And I'm sharing a story because this happened to one of our congregations. They ended up having more money than they ever could have dreamed of. So let's talk about what happened, okay? Pardon? It doesn't sound very Unitarian. But it happened. So I'll tell you the story. This is a true story. Now, you may have heard stories of the Shelter Rock congregation. Okay, some of you have, of Manhasset, Long Island. But recently I'd read Reverend Holly Bayless's version of the story, and that's what I wanted to share with you. Holly shares that the church at Shelter Rock was just like any other, struggling with a yearly budget that tended to slip off the deep end of their solvency margins by the end of their fiscal year. Not an uncommon story. We are a nonprofit. I mean, that's part of the deal, right? One year, as the finance committee was preparing for their pledge drive, a member suggested that that maybe we crack that old safe that's around in the building, right? There was this old safe, and they thought, well, let's just take a shot at it and see what's in the safe. So they opened it up, and what they found in that old safe was a bunch of outdated stock certificates, okay, given by a congregant by the last name Veach. That might also sound familiar to some of you. Many years prior. The certificates had long been forgotten, and at first they thought, oh, they're probably worthless. However, just like my dad always said, he always regretted that he never bought into McDonald's, right? You never know what might have happened. However, they decided to check them out, just in case, and it ended up being a smart thing to do, as they were still active stock certificates in Mobil and Exxon. Also not very Unitarian to have those sitting around. And they were determined to be worth $10.5 million. They just happened upon the treasure, right? So think about it. What would you do? Pardon? You have a safe? As if anyone knows we've got a safe we haven't checked out, this is a good time to check it out. So start thinking about, you got your Legos bricks about what your gifts are, and maybe think about what might you do with $10.5 million to build that Lego church, right? The congregation at Shelter Rock rejoiced. They finally had all the money they could ever need and more. And in that excitement, they began spending it. And they began by filling some volunteer positions with staff. And it was for just about everything, for program planning to volunteer coordinators, accountants, secretaries, musicians, office managers, full-time custodians, potluck organizers. I mean, it wouldn't be bad to have a paid potluck organizer, right? Potluck organizers, you name it, they could pay for it. And now the congregation really just had to go to church. They could just go to church and go to the potlucks and have fun, right? And reap the rewards of Sunday service with all the amenities. Beautiful decor, the best musicians, everything updated, the lights, everything money could buy, with no other obligations at all to share in the chores of making the church run smoothly. It was all paid for, a dream come true. Funny things started to happen. Strangely, attendance began to fall. Members became distant from one another. I mean, they didn't even have to meet at committees together, right? I mean, when are you going to get together, right? Except just to party. You didn't get together to plan, right? Think of all the times you were getting together and working together toward making the church happen. It wasn't happening. There was a general feeling of disassociation and malaise that settled into the congregation. They knew they needed something to get a little pizzazz, right? What's going on What's going on, right? They had everything they had ever hoped for, right? What happened? After a series of congregational meetings, good, they're talking together and planning and thinking and aspiring together again, it was revealed that the active ownership for the mission of the church and purpose was missing. The congregation discovered that their sense of community had become seriously jeopardized, and something had to be done to change the depressed atmosphere that permeated their numbers. So they really started envisioning together, what is it that we really want to do together? After a lot of discussion and a bit of agonizing, the Shelter Rock congregation voted to pull the money out of their budget and create a foundation named after the original donor of those rescued stock certificates, her name being Carolyn Veach. In 1952, they created this foundation, and it would offer grants to innovative projects applied for by other UU congregations and community members that could transform the greater community and the UU world. If you haven't heard of Shelter Rock or the Veach program, foundation, you can Google it, right? And you will be amazed to see the list of projects that they have funded and the examples. I often wonder if on our Walters Unitarian Trust website page, we might list the things that we've given to in the community and toot our own horn a little bit, right? Because when you see this list of the Veach projects, it's very, very impressive. From growing Unitarian Universalist congregations to sustainability projects, green projects, prison justice initiatives, it's pretty amazing. And every kind of project that you'd hope a Unitarian Universalist community would be behind. Reverend Bailey's continued in her story. Once the decision was made and the foundation was established as separate from the Shelter Rock Church, and their budget returned to the normal struggles of maintaining the congregation with a majority of congregants taking on the work and the responsibility, the atmosphere reverted back to that of a happy and unified community. It's a very strong congregation. Now, it would be great to have that problem, right? To have $10 million drop out of the sky. To pop up out of nowhere in that, a safe that we find or whatever. But what is the lesson gained, right? I'm sure you're thinking about what is the lesson gained. Our meaning and purpose as a congregation is not grounded in how much money we accumulate, but what we do with it. And that each member has a voice in what we do with it. Each member contributes to the whole, whether in time, talent, and yes, treasure. What we can give in time, talent, and treasure. Recently online, I found a precious publication from 1880. I think at some time I had mentioned that just like this church, a lot of progressive churches at the turn of the last century called themselves the Church of Our Father. That was a signal of being progressive. And I found this publication about a church that was changing its name from Church of Our Father to, I think, First Unitarian. It was a church in Buffalo, New York. And the year of this publication was 1880. And the very first thing that was in this brochure was the last sermon preached in the old building, the farewell discourse, as it was called in the old church. And then there was a program for the dedication of the new building. And this is what I love about this program. There were 3 committees involved, in pulling together the dedication ceremony, the arrangements committee of 3, the reception committee of 7, and the entertainment committee of 18. That must have been a really great occasion, right? The entertainment committee of, we need an entertainment committee of 18. I wonder what they did. Anyway, so and 12 ushers were listed in the program. Now, that is a riches of people, right, and involvement. There were 3, you had to sit through 3 dedication addresses by 3 ministers, and 2 of them were former ministers. And if you can imagine, ministers tend not to be of few words. And in those days, a sermon might be an hour. So I can't imagine how long the program was with 3 addresses by 3 ministers. I was very struck, and all of these sermons were printed out. I was very struck by the words of the Reverend Schermerhorn. I hope I'm saying that right, Schermerhorn. But he said this, "But what do we mean by a church? The stone, brick, mortar, wood, glass, paint, metal, carpets, and cushions, which all put together, which all constitute an edifice, which is properly called a church." But he says, a mistake very commonly made with reference to the meaning of the word church. The mistake is that it applies to the edifice in which people gather for religious purposes, rather than to the people themselves. The original church was the people without the reference to the place. Not it, but they. You are the church, yes? A living, loving organism, he said, of human hearts, hands, heads, not a cold, dead edifice of stone, brick, and wood constitute a church. You dedicate this edifice by dedicating yourselves. One of the many lessons we learned during COVID is many of our congregations stuck it out and stuck it together even when we weren't meeting together in an edifice. It's the people that dedicate a church, a spiritual community. UUCL is more than an edifice. As beautiful and as historical as this place is, this community is more than dollars. Like the Unitarian congregation in 1880, we also are a living, loving organism of human hearts, hands, and heads that every day is working towards our highest values and aspirations. Sometimes with hiccups, sometimes imperfectly, but we're working on it, and we hold on to our hopes and aspirations. This building is made of stone and wood and nails, but it's a building made a spiritual home by abiding care for each other and our service to the greater community, living our principles and highest purposes the best that we can. More than a church, an edifice, we are a congregation. In the words of Kenneth Patton, this house is a cradle of our dreams, the workshop of our common endeavor. This house becomes dedicated, consecrated, blessed when we dedicate ourselves in service and compassion in whatever way we can. I also came upon a blessing from 1916, it's getting around the age of this building, for a new Unitarian church building to house a congregation that had been established in the 1800s. Seemed very fitting, this blessing. Stand firm, gray rock, tough weathered beam, hold fast. Staunch walls, proud roof, repel the wintry blast. Glow warm within, with highest hope and joy. Clear flame of love, burn brighter, warmer still. May it be so today and for years to come. And let us sing hymn number 1015 in the teal hymnal, I Know I Can.
As you rise in body or spirit, we'll be singing verses 1, 2, and 4. Though days be dark with storms, and burdens break my heart, for troubles great and every turn, I can go on. When sorrow kills my soul, and burdens make me strong, though troubles wait at every turn, I know I can go on, and though the journey is long, the destination is near. Give it everything. The troubles wait at every turn. I know I can go
This is the time in our service when we will pass the plate and accept your offerings. You may also go to our website to make a donation online. But before we pass the collection baskets, I would like to invite George and Carol Myers to the podium to share why they give annually to UUCL.
We started coming to UUCL services during the heart of the pandemic in Willow Valley in a conference room. And the message seemed to sink in, and we eventually joined the church. And after 58 years of marriage, we finally found a spiritual home. We really like the place. We like the message, the Unitarian values, the music program, and we're participants in the open table. Very lively discussion sometimes, today more than usual, and it's stimulating for the brain. So we look at Pledge Sunday as a time to make an investment in continuing that program that we so much enjoy. So that's what we're asking you to consider.
I would like to thank everybody that came to the auction last night. It was phenomenal. The food was great. The programs were wonderful. And all the volunteers are not here right now, but they really deserve a big hand.
A portion of the offering will be shared this month, June and July, or the Lancaster County Public Library. Around the country and in our own county, professional librarians making professional choices about book selection and programming are under attack personally and with threats of budget cuts. May we show our support. While the plates are passed, I will be making some announcements. The plates may now be passed. Do look to our weekly email newsletter, the Love Notes, for weekly need-to-knows and events at UUCL, as well as our Facebook page and website calendar. To sign up for the newsletter, please contact our office. If you would like to be a delegate for UUCL at this year's UUA General Assembly, it will be June 20th to June 22nd, and it will be all virtual. Let Luann Miller of the board know if you are interested. This year could be history-making as we consider updating our 7 UU principles to the 7 core values. The first Sunday in June, there will be a meet and greet for anyone interested in becoming a member here at UUCL. You may sign up with the greeters. The Personnel Committee has a very important role in supporting our excellent staff. If you have HR or supervisory experience and could serve on the committee, please contact Sharon Nelson, Chair of Personnel. Today will also be a labyrinth walk in Founders Hall. Music will be resounding in our sanctuary at 3 p.m. on Sunday, May 19th, as we once again host the Music for Everyone Community Chorus. This free, family-friendly concert will feature multicultural songs of hope, peace, and inspiration. And it will also feature our choir, Stock in the Yards, and our bell choir, the Ringtones. And you can meet the artists at the reception afterwards. Come, let your spirit be uplifted. On May 25th, there will be a West Art Festival to support the library. It will be from 4 to 7 at 800 Buchanan Avenue in Lancaster. We gratefully receive these generous gifts freely given and dedicate them to the work and aspirations of this congregation. Let us join together and read in unison the affirmation of faith found in the front of the gray hymnal and will appear on our screens as well, first in English, then in Spanish. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. El amor es el espíritu, es la iglesia, y el servicio es su ofrenda. Este es nuestro pacto. El convivir unidos en paz, el buscar la verdad en amor, y amarnos unos a los otros.
Today, if you have any questions about the upcoming annual budget that will be voted on at a congregational meeting May 19th, following the service, if you have questions, please join members of the board, perhaps Jonas, downstairs with any questions and to run through the annual budget. Also, there was going to be another thing I was going to say. I think also you'll be able to get going on your own pledge for the annual campaign, the annual drive. I wanted to be sure to highlight that. As we go today and extinguish our chalice, I'm thinking of my good friend Andy Pakula, a minister who served 2 churches in London, but he recently retired. These are words from Andy. As you prepare to leave this sacred space, Pack away a piece of this congregation in your heart. Wrap it carefully like a precious gem. Carry it with you through the joys and sorrows of our days. Let its gentle glow strengthen you, warm you, remind you of all that is good and true. Until we gather here again and in this place of love. May it be so. Go in peace, go in joy, go in love, and I'll see you downstairs, I hope.